And now, the star of the show, Jordan Rogozinski.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Jordan 411 Sports Show. And I have my game back with me, my brother and Michael from Mike FM. And today we're going to talk about the Stanley Cup playoffs. How are you guys doing today?
We are here after 82 games.
Yeah. We've gone by pretty fast. Yep. So we'll get into
it went pretty fast, but it ended up taking 6 months, but we're here finally.
Yeah.
So.
We'll get into the first series. New York versus Washington. So what do you guys think about that series?
Jeremy, you want to take this one?
Yeah, I'll go first. My gut says New York just smacks the absolute crap out of Washington. But then again, you look at last year, you look at Florida, right? They barely made it and they put up a fight. But I think for New York to win the series, they have to stop Ovechkin. And I think for Washington to win, it's like pray. They have to pray. I would take New York in 4.
Oh. Okay, Jordan, do you have thoughts on this series?
Yeah, for me, I think Ovi has to be a beast, and for what and their goalie would have to stand on their head. And I have New York winning in 5.
Oh. Do I have to go against you guys? That is the question. Washington is a very good story to get into the playoffs with all the drama and the empty netter in Philadelphia, and we can address that if we so choose. To me, this is all Rangers. Everything's coming up Rangers. Goaltending, defense, forwards. It's going to be a very interesting series. My concern for the Rangers is the pressure on them. They are the President's Trophy champions. But for Washington, I can't ignore that horrendous goal differential. Either they blow you out when they win or they lose really badly. There's no in between. I'm going to give Washington a little bit more respect than I think you guys are giving them. I'm going the Rangers in 6, but they'll be close games, and I would not be surprised if this series at some point is 2-2, and then the Rangers take Game 5 and Game 6.
Yeah, good points there. Now for the next series, we're gonna go Carolina, New York. Does Michael want to take this one?
Carolina and the Islanders.
Carolina and the Islanders. Does Michael
I'll take this one happily. I think this is a horrendous matchup for Carolina. Islanders will likely to smother the head out of the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Carolina Hurricanes are going to want to make this a run and done. The Islanders goaltending got them into the playoffs. They're on a fairly big heater with a coach that I did not expect to get them into the playoffs when they did get into the playoffs. Patrick Roy got that magic, and he pushed the team into the playoffs. His last time into the playoffs was that surprising Colorado 50-win season, which didn't end up going very well. Sorry, Avs fans. But he's back in the lead. I think Lou Lamoriello kind of got what he wanted out of that, but it took them 60-something games to get it done. Carolina, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Carolina. I think this is a team that to be at or near the top in Stanley Cup conversation, as it deserves to be. I think there's a guy that's very familiar to Manitobans in Seth Jarvis, who I think didn't have his coming out party for Carolina this year. Um, but guys, defense wins championships. And I'm going with an upset here. I got the Islanders in 7.
Yeah, I would. It's kind of amazing how the Islanders kind of turned it around. Um, they got Patrick Waugh, and he led them into the playoffs. And I mean, they play very good defense. They have good goaltending. Carolina, like you said, is kind of like more open. They like to run and gun, and I don't know. They tend to play a lot of man-on-man defense, Carolina, and sometimes they get burned by that. I'm gonna go New York Islanders in 6.
Jordan?
For me, I just think the Islanders always surprise in the playoffs when they're in. That's been their nature. So I'm gonna go Islanders in 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be one of the biggest surprises, I think. Um,
Yeah.
Given how we're all on the Islanders, and I think it's because we know they can be a real pain in the butt come the playoffs.
Oh yeah, they're
Right?
hard to play against.
Yep, and they defend, and now all of a sudden Patrick Waug's got this team thinking offensive. Yeah, I we can discuss this if we want later on, but I don't feel that there's a lot of upsets coming here, in the traditional sense of, okay, this team's a clear winner. But again, it's what have you done for me lately, and what are you
Yeah.
about to do when everything starts at 0? Now let's flip over to the Atlantic Division, Jordan.
So
Tampa and Florida.
Tampa and Florida. Well, for one, I think Florida's a beast. They definitely have more depth than Tampa does, but Tampa does have the goalie. But Tampa does have experience. But I have Florida in 5.
You're doing the short series route so far. Interesting.
I mean, Florida has lots of experience too. They made the cup last year, so they know what it takes. Lots of depth. I mean, yeah, Tampa Bay. I just don't think they had that great of a season this year. I don't know Tampa Bay. I gotta take Florida in 6.
Yeah, Jeremy, I feel what you're saying. It's like they haven't had that Tampa Bay-esque season. It feels like they've kind of been sleepwalking through this thing. Florida to me was one of the most consistent teams. It's ironic here in Winnipeg that people are talking about, the Jennings Trophy for the fewest goals allowed being between their former head coach and the current incarnation of his former team.
Yeah.
I found that to be pretty funny. Congratulations, Winnipeg Jets, on that.
Yeah.
But you know what? I can't discount Tampa Bay's playoff experience versus Florida's kind of. I don't know if it's a Cinderella run for Florida as much as they underachieved last year and then managed to find a deer in the playoffs. This is the third time in 4 years that these teams are meeting in the first round of the playoffs. Give me a great series. Give me 7 games. Home ice decides this thing. I'm going Panthers in 7.
Wow.
Now Toronto and Boston.
Yeah.
This has the ability. This had the ability to split allegiances. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeremy, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, I mean Boston's had Toronto's number for a lot of years, and I mean, Toronto is. I don't know. I mean, they have that reputation of the playoffs and not doing too much, but I got Boston in 7.
I'm going to point you guys to one number. 1959. Do we know what happened then?
The last time they won the cup.
No,
No,
that was in 1967.
Oh yeah, 67.
Correct. But in 1959, that was the last time the Leafs beat the Bruins in the playoffs.
Right, I saw that this morning. Yeah.
Oh,
And, well, folks, before I did my series and what's going to happen and all that kind of stuff, 2024, it is over. I am taking the Leafs in 6. I am sick and tired of the disrespect that Toronto's getting. I know that sounds like a reach, but Samsonov has proven that he can play hockey. And given this last 4-game stretch, which was all losses for Toronto, quite honestly, only trying to get Austin Matthews at 70 goals. And this is the coming out party for Austin Matthews in the playoffs. The narrative in Toronto is the big guys do not show up in the playoffs. It is time to flip the script. It is the Boston Bruins, maybe surprised to be here given what they lost. It's time, Toronto. Let's go. Leafs in 6.
whoa. Well, this one's gonna be a short and sweet answer. I don't think Toronto has very much defense, and they give up a lot of goals, and they're a running gun team. So I have Boston winning all 4 games in a sweep. So me and Michael are in total opposite directions, so we'll see.
I knew that was coming. By the way, my Leafs bet has nothing to do with you wanting, and you used to be a Leaf fan before the Jets came back, but we'll discuss that another day.
Now,
We'll go now the West.
Yep, let's talk about the West.
so LA, Edmonton.
Okay.
Well, do you want to take this one first, Jordan?
Wait. Oh, there. LA. LA is a weird team. They play that 1-for-1 style, which
You're right.
is hard to beat, as teams know around the league. But the Oilers have McDavid, and McDavid is a phenomenal hockey player. They also have Corey Perry, aka Katy Perry. So I take Oilers in 5.
Can I ask you something, Jordan, before we move on?
Yeah.
Do you really think all these series are going to be that short?
I don't think they're gonna go as long as 7. No.
Okay, fair enough. It's interesting because you're jumping between 5 and 4, and
Yeah.
I don't know the way the season's played out. I have a hard time believing that. I have a hard time believing that the series will be that short.
If I'm wrong on all of them,
I will gladly come back on this show and say that you were right if that happens, though.
yeah.
Jeremy, do you have thoughts?
I think it's going to be a really close series. I think last year Edmonton beat them in 6. I think.
Yeah, 6 or 7. But it could have gone either way at points.
Oh yeah, it was very close. I mean, it was neck and neck. Obviously, Edmonton's X factor is McDavid, but I think LA played better defense. But I have to take Edmonton in 7.
Yeah, you still think that's going the distance, eh? Yeah, see, I'm the same way. I think LA is gonna frustrate the you know what out of Edmonton. The thing is, this is 3 years in a row now where these two teams have met in the playoffs. Both previous times the Oilers have beat them. Both previous times home ice has meant something. Um, I feel for the rest of the country that the vast majority of this series is going to be in the Pacific time zone because where we're staying, that's going to be 9 and 9:30 starts, which is close to some people's bedtime. And I fear the LA teams are going to put most people into asleep on their couches with the way they play. But hey, it's boring, it's dull, it's effective, it gets it done. Does it get it done against the Oilers? The answer is no. I am taking the Oilers in 6 plucky games.
Okay, now Vancouver, Nashville.
Want me to take this one first?
Yeah.
Well, it's two teams that deserve to be here. One on a 16-game point streak. The other a year removed from what a lot of people thought was a rebuild. Up and down and bumpy waters since the Canucks have acquired what many thought was the prize at the deadline in Elias Lindholm. Thatcher Demko's come back. He's played 2 games. But the Canucks have found some timely scoring, as has Nashville. I like to say that they play with some of the best defensemen in the league in Roman Yossi and UC Zaros. I couldn't fault anybody for thinking UC Zaros, Roman Yossi against Quinn Hughes and Thatcher Demko. This comes down to who gets the depth scoring for me. Raising the alarm bells. We did a Canadian upset special. I got Nashville in 7. I think this is a horrific matchup for the Canucks, and I think the pressure of being back in the playoffs is going to get to them.
You want to go next, John?
Yeah, actually, Michael, I have this series going longer. Actually, um, I think Vancouver has done amazing. They weren't even in the playoff last year, so to have a bounce back year like this has been pretty good. But I think they're Vancouver's gonna win in 6.
Yeah, see, that's where most people fall on this series. Is in that 6-7 game range. I'll be curious to see once we get the actual pundit prognostications.
Yeah, I mean, a year ago, Vancouver fans were wearing bags over their head. And I mean, Nashville, they went on a good run this year. They went 16-0-2. They were playing great hockey. I remember they came into Winnipeg and they smoked us 4-1. I just think when Nashville played the Jets, I'm like, they're a scrappy team, man. They're a tough team. Like, they can be scrappy. You know?
Well, here's the problem. I think if you screwed down to Nashville's level, and I don't even think that last game in Winnipeg, there, which I think was 4-1 Nashville, is the true indicator. I think the real nasty side of Nashville came out in that last game, which was in Winnipeg, where the Jets were outshot badly. You know, and that's the thing, right? Like the Canucks for me have been so up and down. Since the trade deadline. And I just fear that, Nashville coming in waves is going to be a big problem.
I got Nashville in 6.
Yeah, you know what? I watched Vancouver last night, and I know they sat a lot of guys, but to me, They almost blew a 14-point lead in the division to Edmonton. Had they not won that Saturday game, I think we're looking at a completely different scenario. But again, I feel like this series will be the entertaining factor between Demko and Zaros, and then you get Yossi and Quinn Hughes on the back end, and then what I like to refer to as 3 Adam Lowry lines on Nashville.
It just sucks that it'll be in the Pacific time zone, so it'll be late.
Actually, they're not. I saw they had one afternoon game and then one early evening game.
Oh,
so,
that's good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And then I think the only ones that I saw were late are the ones in Vancouver.
Okay.
So, but that series will start on Sunday night at 9:00 Central.
Okay, now Dallas and Vegas. I'll go first.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Dallas is the number 1 team. Lots of depth, good goaltending. I mean, I don't know. The way Vegas has been playing down the stretch, I think they're leaking into the playoffs. I don't think they're like getting hot at the right time. Vegas is so up and down, unpredictable. I mean, the thing is, you just can't count out Vegas, though. That's the thing. I would say Dallas in 7.
Jordan?
No, I would not count out Vegas as well. I think they definitely have the scoring capability to keep up to Dallas. But Hill hasn't been that good lately. He's been letting in goals, but playoffs is a new game. But I take Dallas in 6.
Yeah, you know what? We remember this time last year. Winnipeg and Vegas were going into this series, and both teams were kind of struggling. And we thought, Winnipeg has a chance because Vegas gets Mark Stone, Vegas gets them back. They haven't played in a while. It's gonna take them a bit to the game, actually. Um, I question Vegas's tactics, bringing in guys at the deadline. It seems like it upsets their chemistry. There's up and down. To me, the goaltending isn't what it was last year. Vegas lost to Vancouver. Vegas lost to Edmonton a time or two down the stretch. But guys, you just can't count out Vegas. Dallas, to me, absolutely loaded. They got Logan Stankoven. They got, Jamie Benn, Tyler Sane, and Miro Heiskanen, Jay Ottinger, and.
And the old guy, Pavelski.
Yep, who just seems to be playing like a 20-something-year-old after playing with all these kids now. Vegas is going to give it a fight. I just don't think they have the goaltending. I'm going Dallas in 7.
Okay, now the Jets series.
Let's preference it by saying the Jets won the Jennings Trophy by 1 goal fewer allowed at 199 to Florida. They come in on the heels of a 9-game winning streak, which nobody saw coming, or 8-game or 9-game winning streak.
8
Tied their franchise record for wins, which is ironically the same as what they had when they reached the conference final. Colorado's struggling, with the exception of last night when half the Oilers team is not even playing. And for some bizarre reason, Edmonton decides to put their starting goaltender in the game, which I couldn't figure out.
Way to give them confidence, eh?
I think they regretted that decision, quite honestly, in the first intermission when they looked at the scoreboard and thought this isn't going well. To me, there's way too much going right here for the Jets. But the playoff inexperience for me, for the Jets um, winds up being the deciding factor for me. I just okay. I'll say this: if this comes down to goaltending, I like the Jets. If this is going to be a high scoring, high octane series, I like Colorado. Something tells me this is about to go very badly for the local nine. I'd have Colorado in 7. I can't. I want to pit the Jets so badly, but something is about to go very wrong, and Colorado's about to get hot again. I do not buy that they're struggling going into the series, and I tell you that 7-1 or 7-0 game just completely reiterated my train of thought. And as Trey alludes to, Colorado is the betting favorite right now, which I cannot figure out why. I'm going Avs in 7, and I hate to do it, but that's how I feel.
Yeah.
And I will gladly come on here if the Jets win in 5 and say yes, because I want it so badly. I just don't want to be disappointed.
Jordan, you want to go next?
Okay. We
Cut.
we gotta play the Rick Bonus blueprint. If we don't, we're gonna lose. We can play high octane, like Michael said. We gotta play defense, and as we said in other series, defense win championships. But I'm taking the Jets in 6. Um, because of the goaltending and because we have some new players that haven't even seen the whiteout before, like Gabe Berlardi and
Just a minute before you talk, Jeremy. Hey, Trey, if you're still watching, can you send me the betting odds for the rest of the series here? Because rest of the series, if you can find them, just shoot them in the chat for me. That would be great. I didn't have a chance to look it up. And now that you say Colorado is the betting favorite, I'm curious what it is the rest of the way here. If you're still watching and you don't mind, go ahead, Jeremy.
I like the role of the underdog. Um, I think if we play defense first and we don't let Colorado get to that wide open game, I will be okay. Now, if we get too spread out, we're not close together. We let Colorado come with speed through the neutral zone. That's when we'll get in trouble. But the difference to me is the goaltending. I don't think. I mean, it's clear as day Hellebuck is the better goalie, but it'll come down to, can the Jets play Rick Bonus's system? That's what it'll come down to, right?
Yeah.
Or do they go back to how they were playing during that 6-game losing streak, right? That's what it'll come down to. I got Jets in 6.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Can you still see me and hear me?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking at some playoff odds here. It's kind of all over the map from what I expected if I'm reading this correctly. I don't know, guys. Maybe just part of me wanting to be excited, but not allowing myself to get there. I'll be clear. I fully felt they were going to lose to Minnesota when they went to the conference finals. So, and as I say, take my pits with an absolute grain of salt because
Yeah.
the opposite ends up happening. So I'll be very happy if the opposite winds up happening.
Oh yeah, like obviously I'd love the Jets to win the cup, but realistically, might not happen, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we got the Oilers favorites over. Yeah, it's pretty much in line with what you would expect. but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
And Trey all of a sudden is sending me crying faces. I'm assuming uh that's because I picked Colorado. Well, I remember a certain group chat that said that something to the effect of you didn't think the Jets would do that well, or you're waiting for the collapse or something. But anyway, Trey, I'm just pulling your leg if you're still watching. You can leave. By the way, when we are live, you can leave your comments on the. If tell us why we're wrong, tell us why we're right. That kind of thing. Jordan.
So now we get on to the conference stuff.
Yeah, who do we think is gonna win the conferences? Let's start with the West. I have a Canadian team in the Stanley Cup final this year. I have Edmonton toppling Dallas out west in 6. And in the East, I'd have the Rangers. Sorry, I'm having audio issues every now and then. I'd have the Rangers meeting with the Atlantic Division winning Florida Panthers. So I got Edmonton taking on Florida, and I got Maurice's troops finishing the job that they didn't finish last year.
You want to go next, Jordan?
Okay. So I have Florida winning the East. So like Michael. And I have Dallas winning the West.
So just so we're clear, you have Dallas beating the Jets in the second round then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In 6 or 7.
Okay. Yeah, I could subscribe to that theory. Who you got winning the cup?
I have Dallas actually.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing, right? Is Dallas is a very deep team. So I would subscribe to that theory, and I think there's a lot of people going to be hopping on that bandwagon, and then we'll have to see, where a lot of the pre-playoff odds wind up going before tomorrow's game ones. Jeremy?
I got Dallas winning the West and Florida winning the East, and I got Florida winning the Cup.
Okay, so you're with me. We're with the same matchup. Ay, guys. We didn't even coordinate this, and we somehow get to the same road. Yeah,
That's being realistic. Obviously, I want Winnipeg, but
Yeah, well, I saw some of the NHL Network pundits suggesting that the best Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup or the best chance is the Winnipeg Jets. Guys, I think there's something to be said about, giving up the fewest goals in the NHL, the most, regulation wins. Because remember, overtime is regulation rules now. So that's
it's whole periods now.
So again, right? And come on, don't talk me off a ledge to change my pit. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. I will do it. And I'm going to be a traitor. So I can't live with myself. Well, yes, I can. Because I can be right. Flipping my pit, guys. Calling an audible. Because it doesn't screw up my Stanley Cup pick ultimately. I got Jets in 7. Just trying to tot these points through in my head. Kind of talked myself into switching it. Jordan, what are you most looking forward to in these playoffs?
I'm looking forward to games every day. Games every day. That will be nice. No breaks. but mostly the intensity. I like playoff intensity. Maybe a fight here or there. Who knows?
What? Okay, so they were talking about. I know this is completely off script, and we didn't plan for this, so apologies. When they were talking about playoff traditions, right? Like Colorado's got the pom poms, Winnipeg's got the whiteout, Carolina's got the storm surge. That to me is what I'm looking most forward to about the playoffs is these traditions that come out. Edmonton's got the plaza, right? Where they got those couple thousand people not far from a rink, the viewing parties, the whiteout parties kind of thing. The traditions of the Stanley Cup playoffs as they are is the thing that I'm most excited about. Guys, this is as good a year as any, and I know none of us picked the Canadian team because I think we were all scared to go there. This is a very good chance. Although I did pick the Oilers. I picked the Oilers to win the West. So there you go. But this is the best chance a Canadian team has had to bring the cup home.
Yeah.
I just remembered something. You know what I remembered and nobody called me out for it? How did I pick Florida to win the cup if I picked wait, the Leafs are playing Boston. My bad.
Yeah.
I was gonna say how can Florida win if they're playing the Leafs? Well, they're not.
They would have, but Florida won their last game.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's on me. But yeah, it's to be really good. And we're gonna have another on the Game Time TV YouTube channel playoff preview tonight at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I
Where
would.
where
Yeah,
my pitch where my pitch will change this afternoon from what I said here because I'm completely not happy with myself.
I know.
But
It's tough to make these picks. It's just
Yeah. Yeah.
But
it's whatever happens, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you, Michael. It's the best chance a Canadian team has had in a long time to end the 30-year drought of not winning a cup in Canada.
30. I was 1 year old when the Canadians brought the Stanley Cup to Canada in '93. So
Holy.
I wasn't even born.
yeah, no, that's why we talked about the games, right? Because we
That's
love it.
not Toronto. I don't care if it's Edmonton, Vancouver, Winnipeg, as long as it's not Toronto.
Well, what would you say to an all Canadian final? Edmonton, Toronto.
Bring it on. Go Edmonton.
Anyone but the Leafs, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the Cubs ended their 100 and something World Series drought, so it has to end at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a team win it that has never won it, though. Like for a while, Like Dallas, they haven't won since 1999. The Jets haven't won it. I don't think Florida's won it. Or, no, they haven't won it. Who else hasn't won it?
Carolina hasn't won it
Yeah,
since
2006.
2006, and Cam Ward got the crease bat, and
Yeah.
a young Michael was very disappointed in the Edmonton Oilers after being 2 years disappointed further on by the Calgary Flames when Jerome McGinley should have won the Stanley Cup on my birthday in Game 6. But they had to call that no goal. And then Buffalo with the no goal over Dallas there in '99, I think it was. Guys, there's just something about the Stanley Cup playoffs that sets it apart from the rest of the playoffs. And no disrespect
Yeah.
to the NBA, but I don't get into it till the conference final.
It's the Stanley Cup is the toughest trophy to win.
Yeah, 86, 82 games, and up 82, and then you got to win 16 up to 16 games. 16 out of a maximum of 28. So
Yeah.
it's kind of the way it's been.
Yep.
You have anything to say in closing, Jordan? I know we're rambling, but I'm so excited.
I'm very excited, and go Jets. Hope everybody enjoys the game on Sunday, and this was fun, and we'll do it again at some point. I don't know when, but we'll definitely. This is the band I want to keep together, so we'll definitely do it again. Thank you
Good.
for coming on.
Yeah.
Good. We haven't lost our invites yet. That's good.
No. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us, Jordan.
Yeah. Thank you for watching, everybody. Bye bye.